All right, cool. That's the first time I've had an intro, so thanks, guys. Yeah, that's the first intro I've ever heard. It sounds weird when you summarise it like that. But all right, yeah. So I'm Dan. I was sitting where you guys are sitting 5 years ago. I had the same booklets that you guys have, and I was trying to write down as much stuff as I possibly could, trying to suck in as much information as I possibly could. The reason for it was because I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea about business at all. I was 24 years old at the time, and I was really hoping for the best, and I was hoping that I really didn't stuff up by joining this company. I was in a terrible financial position, as Kim just said. So I was working at McDonald's before I joined up with Jim's Mowing. And I had a daughter, little 2-year-old Isla, and I had another one on the way, little Annie. I had my wife, and we were living in this house in Carrum Downs. Now, we had finance on a couple of cars. We had 2 maxed out credit cards, and to get by, we were eating 2-minute noodles and soup for dinner pretty much nearly every night. We really couldn't afford much of anything. We overextended ourselves. And working at McDonald's, it wasn't going to cut it. So I'd one issue that I'd seen, and this is going to go into how I overextended myself a little bit more as well. One issue that I seen with the life I was living was that I seen that my wife, she wasn't depressed, but she was extremely sad at this point. This is 6 years ago now. Extremely sad, and I could see that our life was just, I could almost see what our next 5 years was going to be, and it wasn't looking too great. And I went, I've got to make a change. I've got to do something to be able to fix my life. I'm young enough now that I can make mistakes, and hopefully I can make up for them. So I'm gonna try and see if I can pull something off. So I knew that my wife was happy when she was around her family, and at that time we lived about 30 k's away from her family, and she barely got to see them because she was working like 70, 80 hours a week. Same as I was. So I went, all right, how do I find a way that she can still work so we can still survive, but she gets to see her family? So I bought this house right across the road from her parents. I bought this literally across the road. Like, you've seen Everybody Loves Raymond, exact same thing. So we can see through their windows. Now the issue, this house come up for auction. Now I'd never been to an auction. I was super excited. I knew this was the house I had to get. It was a must. No matter what, I was going to get this house. And I think the auctioneer seen that as well. So because of that, I ended up spending about an extra $100,000 on this house to what it was worth. I got ripped off pretty solid. I did it to myself, and I was left with a mortgage that was $1,000 a week repayments over 30 years. Now working at McDonald's, that was going to be pretty bloody difficult, especially when I had a kid on the way. I started thinking, how can I get myself out of this situation? I've now fixed one problem, which my wife is now happier because she's around her family, but I've caused a whole bunch of other problems. I started thinking maybe I can get an apprenticeship, and then I went, no, well, I can't really do that because you need to do a 4-year qualification to become qualified, 4-year apprenticeship, sorry. So that wasn't going to work. And then I went, all right, well, maybe I can look at running a business. Now, again, I had no idea about running a business. I started looking at fish and chip shops and milk bars, looked at franchising a Subway. There was a few different little things that I was looking at. And then I realized that I probably wasn't smart enough to do any of those, not at all. And then I started thinking, well, what's the most simple business that I could possibly run, that I could possibly think of, which is where mowing came up. To me, mowing seemed quite simple because I had heard stories about 12-year-old and 15-year-old kids that had lawn mowing jobs that they would do on after school. So I went, maybe I can have a crack at this. Started doing a bit of research into it, learnt that there was quite a fair bit of profit involved, and the reason there was a lot of profit was because there wasn't a lot of overheads in a mowing business. I realised that it was quite a simple plan. Then I went, all right, who do I call? There was only one name that came to mind, which was Jim's Mowing. Like most of you guys would probably know, there's not a lot of people clients at all, or people in general that know other mowing companies except for Jim's Mowing. So I came to Jim's first, spoke with the franchisor. He came over, he spoke, he was a very intelligent man, probably a little bit too intelligent for me. so I didn't understand anything he said. But there was one thing that I did understand, and he said, we guarantee $1,500 a week. And when he said that, I went, I'm sold, because I need at least $1,000 a week to pay my mortgage. So you've just said the lucky number. I bought this business, and again, not the smartest person. I was actually expelled from school. I don't know if any of you guys have seen my videos. So I bought this business, and I knew that I could work hard, and that's all I had going for me. I could work hard, and I could work bloody hard. So I went, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna mow as many lawns as I possibly can. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. You can't really, if you're mowing lawns, mowing plenty of lawns, you're gonna make plenty of money. Well, brilliant for me, I was right. It turns out that was what was special about me. I just mowed a hell of a lot of lawns and then taught people how to mow a hell of a lot of lawns. So I buy this business and I work hard. My first week in, I worked 7 days for that week, and I was working from sun up to sundown. And I earned $3,600 that week. $3,600. I was spent. I was done. Exhausted. I had to have like Epsom salt baths every night and everything to try and get through it. The worst days were when I was stuck doing big hedging jobs all day, and it really stuffs up your arms. I don't know if any of you guys have got experience in hedging or anything like that yet, but I'm telling you, that's the main killer. Like, mowing is nothing compared to hedging. So I've made $3,600 this first week in, and I realised that I've got the golden ticket, because I reckon I can keep doing this. Next week comes, and I realise that there's one small thing I forgot about. I hadn't done any marketing, and I hadn't brought any work on. So although, how you going, mate? Do we all clap when they come in? Yeah? All right, cool, no worries. You're going a bit red there, mate. And so, second week was, I was willing to work hard. I was willing to work, harder than I'd ever worked to make this business work for me. But I didn't have any work, and I didn't have any work because I didn't do any marketing. So I was like, well, I'm out of luck here. What am I going to do? Just, mess around all day and twiddle my thumbs, and hopefully something comes up. And then I spoke to the franchisor, and he said, no, mate, you need to get out there and start doing some local area marketing. Like, don't just wait for the work to come to you. If you want to build this business, you're not just going to rely on us. You're going to do whatever it takes to make this grow. So I went out and I went to the local real estate agents in my area, met them face to face, and I was pretty awkward talking to them. I think they could tell that, and I think they pitied me a little bit, so they gave me work. And I had business cards and flyers that I had already got with my franchise. And so these flyers and business cards, I had my daughter's little pram, and I would walk the streets with this pram with all these business cards and flyers, and I'd put little paper clips on them. And me and my wife, she really did not like doing this, by the way, but we'd go and put these flyers in everybody's letterboxes. And we did that, and then we also went and signed up and got registered with TAC. I think it was the first one I got registered with. For those of you who don't know what TAC is, it's basically for people to get into a motor accident. The insurance covers them so that people can do services for them that they can no longer do. And sure enough, that week, I'd done enough marketing to get myself to a point where I'd earned $50 more than I'd earned the last week. For me, I had this plan which was every single week I work, I'm going to make more money than I did the last week. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to improve a little bit. I didn't care how much, but as long as I was improving. So I made $3,650 for that second week. I was spent again, absolutely exhausted, more than I was the first week, because I'd also done the work plus the marketing. But what that had done was that had taught me that no matter how hard I think it is, I can make this work. And I'm not going to sit here and just rely on gyms to send through leads and that's it. I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to make sure this works. So fast forward a little bit, within 4 months I was earning $7,000 a week. And the way that I was earning $7,000 a week was I'd done that much marketing, and I'd learned that many different things about all this local area marketing that I created demand for my business. I had people now chasing me all the time to get work done at their property. And so because I had all this demand, I realised that I'm only one person. I only have a certain amount of hours in a week that I can work, and that was usually about 70 hours. Well, I need to increase my prices because I'm only one person. So I started increasing my prices, which is what led me to get to $7,000 a week. Now, what I had done was I'd increased my prices for regular mowing jobs, I'd increased them to $2 per minute, so $120 an hour. So if I was at a job for half an hour, it's a $60 job, an hour, $120. And for once-off jobs, now the once-off jobs were much, much harder. As I said, the hedging jobs, and you'd really feel it the next day. So because I hated doing them, I loathed doing these jobs, like these big garden cleanups. And I knew that no one else wanted to do them either. Those are more expensive, so I put them at $3 a minute. And so I was now at a point where I went, all right, I'm too busy now, 4 months in, I'm too busy. I can't keep up with the amount of work coming through because I've got too many regular clients on, which is a good problem to have. But the issue with having all those regular clients is they were only paying me $2 a minute. Although I didn't like doing the once-off work, that was paying me $3 a minute. So I'm going to take that over the regulars. So I decided to hire someone. Now, me being me, I have no idea how to be an employer, not the slightest clue. Don't know how to hire someone, don't know how to pay them correctly. I knew I was going to get it wrong, and I knew I was going to get it very wrong. So I did the only thing that I thought was the smart move at the time, and I hired my younger brother. So he really didn't get much of a choice in it, truthfully. I got him the job that he had at McDonald's at the time as well, and I just said, all right, mate, you no longer work for them, you work for me. He wasn't too happy with it, but I'm the older brother. So any of you guys that have younger brothers, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. So Alex, my younger brother, he's the ugly one on the left-hand side over there. He comes and starts working for me, and I realised that he definitely wasn't as smart as me. So I went, all right, there's not much you can do. So what I'll get you to do is I'll just get you to mow lawns. So I got him to do my regular customers. I had about 80 regular customers. Later on, I figured out that was about the average size of a mowing round. I said, you can look after these customers, I'll teach you how to do them. So me and him worked with each other all day, every day. I taught him how to mow first because I couldn't let him use the brush cutter because I knew he was going to destroy the customer's edges. So I went, all right, use the mower, I'll set up the height for you so that you don't stuff it up, you just push it, that's it. And just make sure you get every single strip. So after a little while of doing that, he eventually figured out how to get the heights right, and he started learning when to empty the catcher instead of having everything mulched on the lawn because the catcher's full. And then about, I don't know, maybe 3 months in, he was ready to start brush cutting, and that was a nightmare. That was an absolute nightmare, but we got him there. And I now had an employee that could look after these customers without me. So I said, all right, Alex, on your bike, these are your customers. 80 regular customers, I want you to do 40 a week. He was doing that, and I'd chuck him a bit of extra work here and there as well. And he was making me between $3,000 to $3,500 grand a week from doing that, which was bloody fantastic for me because that was more income coming through, and I had to barely do anything for it, just invoice and deal with his complaining. And so I went on and I kept doing my once-off jobs and making my $7,000 a week. And another 6 months went by, and I had another 80 regular clients built up, and I needed another employee. Now, I didn't know how to find employees. I was terrible at it. It's actually really quite difficult finding good employees. Does anyone here run a business and you know how hard it is to find good employees? Yeah, it's honestly like the hardest thing in business, I swear. But anyways. Huh? That's where you'll lose business. Yeah, especially if they get the quality wrong and you start, upsetting customers. You're absolutely right. That's where you start losing your business. Anyway, so he had a friend that needed a job, and I didn't have anyone that I knew to be an employee, so I brought him on, and sure enough, I did the same thing with him. Taught him how to run this mowing round. So now I had 2 employees making me both between $3,000 to $3,500 grand a week from running these rounds for me. You guys can probably see where I'm going with this. So after 3 years, I had 6 mowing rounds. I'd made it efficient enough that each round would make me, on average, $3,500 grand a week instead of just 3. So I had 6 blokes earning me $3,500 grand a week each from running 6 different mowing rounds, and which is how I was able to make over $20,000 a week running this mowing business. So what I did in itself wasn't too difficult to plan and to do. It's actually quite a simple idea, but doing the work for it was extremely difficult. So that's how I built my business. And so now I'm going to talk through with you guys a few things that I did to create that demand, because again, to create the demand to build one of these businesses is probably the most important part. Any questions so far? Yep.
Did you have to send your brother and your other workers to this training course before they could work on their own?
No, I didn't.
Do we have to do that?
Not, I don't believe so. No, I don't ask my franchisees to do it. So,
We're Kiwis. Our in-laws are our franchisors.
Your in-laws are your franchisor. Good luck with that, mate.
And yeah, they've said that anyone we employ would have to come and do the gym's training before they can go out on their own and do their own run.
There you go. No, as far as I'm concerned, no, employees don't need to come here. This is franchisee training. So this isn't employee training. You're the one that trains your employees. If they stuff up, we'll let you know that they're stuffing up and we'll say, hey, they're not doing the right job. But ultimately, that your business is your responsibility. We're not going to go to your employees and tell them they're stuffing up. We're going to go to you.
Sweet.
Cool? Does that make sense for everyone?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm thinking of this properly, but what's stopping, like all the guys that you've hired, what's stopping them doing what you're doing? Like
Nothing. In fact, I actually wanted them to do what I was doing. So when I was bringing on these employees, they quickly learned that, geez, this is quite simple. And it's hard to once you find good employees, it's hard to keep good employees. So when you find good employees, you come to learn quickly that you need to pay them much better prices than you would pay for any average person in order to keep them. So I had to start paying them better prices to be able to keep these guys around, because otherwise they were going to do exactly what I was going to do. So, but in the end, my business, I ended up selling it to all my employees. I sold it to them for, in my opinion, pretty much next to nothing. And they're all out there now making over $1,000 a day working by themselves. So, yeah, no, you actually, if you care about, the one thing that people don't really understand is, in this photo, people look at me because I'm the one presenting. I'm not the person that built this business. It was a team effort. It wasn't just me. I wasn't out there every day slugging it. Maybe I had the idea of, hey, maybe this is how I set up a system, but that's 1% of the work. These guys here in this photo, as far as I'm concerned, these are the ones that built the business for me, not me. I'm just up here presenting it. So because they had put in all that hard work, and they put in a lot of hard work for me, I went, well, you guys are the ones that should be reaping the rewards. So and now they are. So, but you've come to find that when you're running your business and you get to know these people as well as you do, and you spend that much time with them, you really do want to see them succeed. You have that much respect for them. So some things just aren't about money. Cool.
You're still taking a cut of like their earnings though, yeah? Because you hired them.
Now?
No, like when you first...
Oh, they were just so they were on wages for me.
Yeah.
So they were on wages, and then everything that the business earned is what I got. They got their wage, and then I don't know if are you talking about if they're subcontractors or...
No. I was just wondering like how you were still profiting off them working for you.
Yeah, so I would have each of my employees, I would want them to earn me $750 a day per person. So that's how it operated. And usually those employees would get paid, I don't know, let's say $250 a day. So that's how I operated, if that helps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, cool. All right, now let's get into how to create demand, how to get this marketing done so that you can have the potential to build your business to this point if you want to. What I call these is my local area marketing tips. We'll just call it LAM tips for short. And I kind of think of this business as, I'm terrible at drawing, so I apologise. But it's like a table. And right now, what most franchisees see, and this is something that I'm trying to teach as many of my guys as possible, right now when people start up, they see this. So this is the table, and what they see here is Jim's leads. And they go, I'm going to build my business using Jim's leads. That's pretty much what people see, and they go, and look, the table will stand, and it'll do all right. It'll be a bit shaky though. So you've got one leg on the table, which is Jim's leads, and it's a bloody strong leg. But I want to show you guys what you can do to make that table a bit more sturdy. So number one for me, and this is probably my favourite one, is add-on sales. I learnt this while I was working at McDonald's. Anyone in this room, can you tell me why you think I would have learnt that while I was at McDonald's? Can you think of any add-on sales that Macca's likes to do? Fries with that? Yep.
Yeah, same thing.
Would you like a large? Awesome. Anyone else got anything? Sometimes when you go through the drive-through, depending on how good the store is, they'll say, would you like an apple pie with that? So I learned add-on sales. It was built into my DNA from working there. We actually used to have competitions where they'd see who could sell the most apple pies, and then you'd get some, like a free meal or whatever, worth like $10, but you'd really just sold like $200 worth of apple pies. So add-on sales. I want to go through the room right now, and I want to see if you guys can think of some add-on sales for me. We'll start with the mowing guys. We'll get 3 different people, one each. I want an add-on sale from someone. Yep.
Weed spraying.
Weed spraying, good one. I like that. Clearing gutters. How can you tell if gutters need to be cleared? It's a really easy way to tell, huh? Yeah, it could be mold around the downpipe. It might. What is it? Oh, you could just ask and see if they need it done. Yep. Leaves on the ground. Yeah, that's a good one. Because they're no longer able to fit into the gutter, so they fall down the bottom. Another way is they've got a literal veggie patch growing out of their gutters. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that. So that's a really clear way to see if someone's gutters need to be done. Someone else? Fertilisation. Yep. Okay, we've got 3. No, no, cool. All right, hedging, cool. All right. Now, dog wash. As I said before, Sharon has gone absolutely mental this week. I've never seen so many dog wash people together. And you're all in this sort of group here, just sticking together. All right. Dog wash, give me 3. Treats? Homemade treats. Homemade. So you make the treats yourself?
Yes, I do at home. So
and then you sell them?
I don't sell them yet, but that's my plan.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I've never heard that. That's really going above and beyond. I really like that one. Cool. What was your name again? Bianca. Oh, that's a great one. I haven't heard that one yet. I like that. Next one.
Ear cleanings and nail clippings as an added service.
Ear cleaning. Now, how do you clean a dog's ears?
There's chemicals that come.
You don't just get a cotton bud?
Bacterial and things like that.
No. All right, no worries.
Some people charge for it. We can say that as an add-on service.
You need a bloody big cotton bud. Yeah. Next one.
I make custom dog collars and dog legs.
Dog collars and dog. Wow. There you go, Bianca. You got nothing on that, mate. That's really, really cool. That's really cool. All right. Those are really interesting ones, dog wash. All right. Who else we got? We got the Jim's cleaning. We got cleaning fellas. Where are you?
Dirty driveway.
Dirty driveway. So you can pressure wash their driveway, you're saying? Yep. Brilliant. Huh? Oven. How can you tell if someone's oven needs to be cleaned? You just open it. Yeah. Or it's got a yellow tint and they go, oh, geez, that's a nice colour. No, that's just grease. Yep, cool. No worries. And someone else?
10% off next service you can do.
Say it again.
10% off when you do next time you call me.
10% off next service. Yeah, okay. That's not really an add-on sale, is it, though? That's more of a special offer. So what could be an add-on sale, though? What could you do for an add-on sale? Vacuum. Yeah, why not? You can do a vacuum. Absolutely. That's a good one. All right. Who else have we got? We've got Pet Patrol. Is there only one Pet Patrol?
It's just me.
Yeah, okay. Just give me one.
Waste removal.
Waste removal. What sort of waste?
Like poo pickup.
Oh, okay. No worries. All right. I want someone else in the room that's not part of Pet Patrol to help me out and give me another add-on sale for Pet Patrol.
I don't even know what they do. What do they do?
What do you guys do?
Dog walking,
Dog-
sitting, like animal checkups during the day, basic lead and behavioural training.
Yep. No worries. Can anyone give me anything?
Dog attack training.
Dog attack training. You could do that. Do you reckon you could do that? Yeah, okay. I'd hate to be you. Here's a great big Doberman or... Yeah. All right. What else have we got? Dog attract. I would actually pay to see that. I really would. I'd pay some good money. Yep.
Car detailing. Someone wants their car cleaned, upsell them, getting their headlights done whilst you're there.
How do we do headlights? Do we use toothpaste or what is it that we do?
It's a special polishing compound.
Special policy. Okay. Is it called Colgate? Okay, cool. Yep, no worries. So headlight restoration. That's a good one. What else have we got? What else have we got? Car detailing. Is there anyone else from car detailing? Sorry. Yep.
Trim restoration.
Clean restoration.
Trim restoration.
Trim restoration. How do you do that?
It's all like faded and all that stuff. You just have to add like a chemical to it
Yeah, okay.
and make it much more like looks brand new.
There you go. I've seen at big stadiums, like the size of the MCG, when all their seats are faded, they go around with a big flamethrower and just melt it so it looks all new. You probably wouldn't want to do that to a car though, I don't think. All right, anyone else from car detailing, or is it just used two? Oh, there we go.
Ceramic coating.
Ceramic coating. Yeah, okay, that's a bit pricey, that one, isn't it? If you could get away with that, it'd be great on sale. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, cool. What other group have we got? We got laundry, don't we? I can see right front and center, I like it. Or the back and center, sorry. What do we got, guys?
Maybe curtains. They want the curtains washed.
Curtains washed, yep, absolutely. Freshener or a spray, yep. Is there anyone else here from laundry? Bit of ironing, yep, that's a nice simple one, yep. People probably struggle to say no to that one as well. Yep, cool. All right, who else have we got here, guys? Skip ins. Who said that? Yep, awesome. Shoot.
Lots of times that you go to get the bin, they're loaded with the stuff, but if you look at the backyard section, it's more than 3-4 times at the bin, so we offer add-ons as you want to help you out clear off the section. That's going to add something.
So you're saying you fill the skip bin for them as well?
No. As you go and get, you put the water, they fill it with stuff. But as you go to load the bin, you will see the section at the backyard.
Yep.
There's 3-4 times that what's in the bin, so you just offer.
Ah, okay.
You have to clear off the section for it. So
That's not a bad one. Basically, you just say, can I get you more skip bins? Yeah, brilliant. I like that. That's a good one. All right, cool. Is there anyone else that wants to chuck one in from another division? Who haven't we heard from yet? Antennas. What do we got?
Nah, he's not.
Oh. What do you mean? You're not even from antennas.
They're in here.
You sort of got to give me one now.
Keep it quiet, mate.
What do you got? Have you got anything from antennas?
Yeah, you could essentially offer like a TV tune or installation as well.
You're from Mowing.
Yeah.
Are you sure you've joined the right division, mate? All right, what else have we got? Bookkeeping, what do you got?
Business health check, business advisory,
Yes?
some automation on how they use their apps to make their job done quickly.
I'm going to take your word for that, because I have no idea what you're talking about. So, business health check, business advisory, and installing apps or something.
Just advising on that, what app they should use and how to use it, just to save them time doing their daily tasks.
There you go. I think everyone does. Yeah.
He's going to be busy after this call.
Yeah. For me, it's just. I'll just call you just to figure out what it is you're talking about. All right. No worries. Is there anyone else I've missed? Yep.
From antennas, the TV on a wall, absolutely, and then we hide the cables in the wall, additional fee. But then when we're talking to the client, and it's not moaning about the Wi-Fi being weak at certain parts of the house, we listen to that, and then we can then increase the Wi-Fi as an add-on.
There you go. I didn't know you could do that. Do you know how many issues I've had where I have to stand in my kitchen because my Wi-Fi doesn't work, and I'll be in the middle of like my Peaky Blinders show, and I'll be cracking it.
You know where the modem is? Walk down the other side of the house, and then they're waiting for the phone,
Yeah.
and you can just do the spiel.
Well, there you go. I like that. That's a good one. And I reckon everyone would say yes to that as well. Who doesn't want strong Wi-Fi? Yep. Cool. Anyone else? Are you test and tag, are you?
Yeah.
All right. Go on.
We can suggest like the emergency exit lights.
Yes? If they're out, that's a safety issue, isn't it? Yeah, safety should be number one priority. Yep. Is there anything else you've got?
Check the fire extinguishers maybe. If they just want to stop tag, you can see that fire extinguishers are out of date. Do that.
Yep. I reckon you got one more in you.
Well, say if they've just got basic power tools, you can see some of their computer monitors and stuff aren't tagged as well in their office. You can be like, hey, I should probably do them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. You're going to do pretty bloody well, mate. There you go. 3 straight off the cuff. All right, cool. Everyone gets it with add-on sales. Cool. You learnt what I had to learn over 7 years in McDonald's in the space of 5 minutes. All right, number 2. Anyone here heard of NDIS? Yeah, quite a fair few of you, actually. All right. Who here has been part of NDIS in any way? You could have been a participant, could have been a partner of a participant, you could have been a part of the plan managers, you could have been a support coordinator. Who's been part of it at all? Yep. What was your name? JC. JC, what were you?
I was a recipient of it.
So, okay, yep. Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown in general about the NDIS? Do you reckon you can do that?
Not completely. Mine was more for employment and just helping with general medical stuff.
But you had providers come and help you out, yes?
Yep.
Yep, cool. What sort of providers would you get to come and help you out?
People would come in and would help with basic daily tasks. I wasn't focused all the time.
Maybe cleaning?
Yep, cleaning.
Bit of mowing?
No mowing, no.
Okay. That's all right.
I was a child, mate.
Sorry. All right, but yeah, so basically you had providers that could help you out with services that you couldn't do yourself. That's pretty much where we're going with it, which is what we are. We're those providers. Now, you've got the NDIS, who's the big dog. Basically, they're the ones that go, all right, we're going to allocate this much money. Then you've got plan managers. Now, the plan managers are almost like the middleman. They're the ones that have the money for your NDIS plan, and they say, all right, we can spend a little bit here, we can spend a little bit here. And so basically, us providers will go and invoice directly to the plan managers, and then the plan managers will invoice the NDIS, which means for us, we don't need to be registered with NDIS as long as we go directly through plan managers. And the reason we don't want to get registered with NDIS straight away is because it costs about $2,500, I think it is, depending on what industry.
Yes, it does.
Yes, awesome. So I think we all like having our $2,500 in our back pocket.
It's about 3.5 months to get registered.
There you go. Yep. So have you been through it before?
I'm working through that process right now,
Yeah.
You've got to shell out almost $1,500 just to get an application to get registered.
Yep.
Then there's a whole bunch of add-on fees.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
It's horrible.
Yep. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy.
It's horrible.
No, it's all right. So if you can do work through plan managers, then you're pretty happy with where you are. You don't want to go through that registration process. So you've got the plan managers, and they invoice directly to the NDIS for you, and they're registered with the NDIS. And then, hey, how are you? And then you've got support coordinators. Does anyone know what a support coordinator is? Yeah. Who? Yep.
It's the person who liaises the services with the participants and
Awesome. They organise.
manager, registered provider.
Yep. So they organise support.
Yeah. So they give you, if you are doing the lawn mowing, they check the budget, how much the participant does
Yep.
in their budget, and they will tell you, you can do the mowing 2 hours every.
Yeah, you can probably spend $2,500 a year on mowing. They make sure you don't get ripped off as well. Yep, cool, no worries. Because I know there's probably a fair few contractors out there that would be, if there was no support coordinator, they'd be like, oh, I'm having a field day here, thank you.
To be honest with you, it works more for mowing to do private jobs than the NDIS, price-wise, because...
It depends, and I know where you're going with that. Where you're going with that is the average hourly rate for NDIS is about $50 an hour, is that right? I think it might be 51 or so, but let's just say 50. Now, and that's the issue, the speed bump that I came across 5 years ago when I started up. And that's the same speed bump that every other franchisee in my region came across. And it wasn't just NDIS, it was also the other insurance agencies. So it was any work cover jobs, it was any aged care jobs, it was the TAC, DV8, there we go. And so they had an hourly rate limit. Now me being me, trying to find a way to get as much work as possible, I went, well, how am I going to make this work for me? How am I going to somehow get this work and get paid what I want to get paid to do it? Because I definitely don't want $50 an hour. That can get stuffed. So what I did was I started writing, I would speak to the participant, I'd get a good relationship with them, I'd tell them how I was the best person for the job. Sorry, Kim. And then once they knew that I was the best person for the job, I'd write an email to the support coordinator letting them know that I charge per job, not per hour. And I would get them to confirm that and accept it. Once that's confirmed and accepted, it's like any other normal customer. You charge what you like for that job as support coordinator. Whoever their support coordinator was. And then I got approval from that support coordinator before I started invoicing those jobs. So that's what I did, and it worked out bloody beautifully because... No. No GST, but that's not a worry. I mean, GST isn't even your money anyways. So, cool. So that's what I did, and it worked out fantastic. So what happened was, I kept that under the lid for quite a while. And I was taking on all this insurance work 5 years ago and all this NDIS work, and money was coming in, like that 306,000, I don't know if you guys know, but I made 306,000 in that first 12 months that I worked. Good chunk of that was from all that insurance work that I was taking on. It was bloody fantastic. And then stupid me, about a year and a half in, went and told Jim what I was doing. And once you tell Jim what you're doing, it's game over. So sure enough, he went and got registered with all these companies, and he became a registered provider for the NDIS, and now people go through gyms to go through NDIS. So I should have kept that one to myself, but oh well. But that's what you do. So you get approval from them to be able to charge per job, if that helps you out. Cool. So that's NDIS. The reason I put that on there is because there are so many contractors that aren't doing work for them because they think that exact same thing where they think they only get paid $50 an hour, which isn't true if you know how to do it. Cool. Number 3. Have any of you guys heard of cold calling, or do you know what cold calling is? Yeah. Give me a bit of a rundown. Who can give me a bit of an idea of cold calling? Bianca?
Back in the day when I used to work in travel, we used to have to ring random customers with numbers that would pop up in our call system and try and sell holidays to them.
Yeah, and how difficult was that?
Oh, it was the worst thing in the world.
And how many times did you get hung up on?
Yeah, I don't know, 100% of times a day.
You're a telemarketer pretty much.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Yep, it's not great. You have to be fantastic with rejection. Now for me, I'm bloody brilliant with rejection. Let me tell you. In school, I tell you what, I didn't look the way I do now. So I was fantastic with rejection. Someone had a question up there?
The person you get in contact with NDIS, was it support work?
Support coordinator.
Support coordinator.
Yep. Cool. Also, if anyone has any questions or anything as well, I mean, you can ask them here right now, but I'll also be at lunch as well, so you can come and just have a chat with me. So cold calling. Now, I would cold call businesses in my local area. In my territory, I'd call businesses and, hey, how you going? It's Dan from Jim's Mowing. Just letting you know I'm looking for work. Is there anything I can give you a quote for? That's basically what you're trying to say. You might say it in a bit more of a nicer way, less blunt, but that's the message you're trying to get across. And I would go to previous clients within gyms. Now, everyone thinks of gyms leads as new leads. They all think, oh, we'll just get new gyms leads. People forget that there's also, these are terrible legs, so I apologise. There's also current, and what else would there be? Yeah, it's unserviced, but what else would there be? Yeah, previous. We'll put down on service as well. This is a really weird table. So all of a sudden, just from gyms, you've now got unserviced, current, new, and previous. This is the stuff that people don't usually think about. They just think about taking on new leads. So how do we get work from previous clients? Well, you could do cold calls.
Are they your previous clients or previous clients of gyms?
So either way. Now, they could be your previous clients, or you could ask your franchisor if he's got any previous clients in his database that he can send through to you and transfer to you. So, and the reason that your franchisor would have those clients is because gyms has been operating for over 30 years now. We've got a hell of a lot of franchisees that have left within that time. Yeah. And all those franchisees had clients at one point. When you leave gyms, those clients get transferred back into the system. So you could potentially, I mean, it's a never-ending list, like never-ending. So you've got that you can do. So you can do cold calling for it, and it's difficult. Number 4. letterbox drops. Now, before I told you guys, in my second week in, I was doing letterbox drops. And that helped me get my 3,650. What I forgot to tell you was it didn't work very well. So I got a few jobs from it, but I reckon I spent, I don't know, 5 hours, no, more than 5 hours. I reckon 4 hours a day doing it for maybe 3 days of the week, doing these letterbox drops, and I got bugger all work from it. And then I learnt to do, instead of that, I changed it to magnets instead of the business cards, and the magnets worked out really, really well. And the reason these magnets worked out so well was because, well, I already liked the idea of magnets before I even started doing it, and the reason I liked the idea of magnets was because my little daughter, Isla, would draw pictures for me, and she'd want me to chuck them up on the fridge, and I would run out of magnets. I don't know if anyone's had that same issue. If I give someone a magnet, they can now put their little daughter's photo up on their fridge, and it's almost like, what is it? What's it called? Subliminal marketing, I think it's called. Something like that. Yeah, it's right there. You can't miss it. So you walk past the fridge. How many times do you reckon you walk past the fridge in a day? Like 30, 40? Who knows? And every time you walk past that fridge, you're seeing Dan Cahill, Jim's Mowing. Dan Cahill, Jim's Mowing. Well, one day, eventually, and it still happens to me now, 5 years down the track, people need a gardener, they need weeding done or whatever it is, I'm always there. So I've still, to this day, get job after job after job just from those magnets. You had a question?
It's not so much the magnets either. People discount a lot, but people love getting free stuff, whether it be a magnet, a pen, a notebook, whatever.
Yeah.
And that in itself, not only is a good idea, but it's a good marketing, like I said,
People really do like getting free stuff. Yeah, I'll agree to that. That's actually another type of marketing that I'm probably won't, I don't know if I'll chuck it up here. It's not part of my top 10, but we might make a leg for it. So if you were doing marketing, now this would probably be a last resort thing, and you wanted some jobs done, there's no reason why you couldn't just offer to do some free services for people and then try and convert them into a regular. So, which is the whole idea of the paid for work guarantee. If you go out and do free jobs for people, a lot of the time they'll convert into regulars. So, free work. We'll chuck that up on, so we got add-on sales, add on, got NDIS, cold calling, council. We're nearly up to that one. Mate, you're a live or two ahead of us. You might need to come up here and help me out with it, I reckon. Letterbox. Yeah?
So you know how I'll say you're a natural born hustler, which I absolutely love. And you...
I'm from Frankston, so yes, yep.
You know how you said that you went from letterbox drops, then the magnets were like a really good uptake on, conversion.
Yep.
People throw on their paper mache, flyer
Yep.
in the bin to actually putting the magnet on the fridge.
Yep.
Have you done anything else that, such as like the notepad and pen that we're using at the moment, but like putting your name on notepads and other sort of...
I never did that. I wish I did. I reckon that's a great idea.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, if you were to give like little booklets for like, not to say like give your kids like Jim's Mowing, like school books to work in, but like for those sort of things like sticky notes and whatever else, if you were to have like the Jim's logo on that to give them away,
Yeah.
are you able to have your personal mobile number on anything that you're giving away in your territory?
If you're advertising in your territory, yes. It's the same as a business card. It's the same as a magnet. Unless, and this is the unless you speak with your franchisor and they tell you that you can also advertise in vacant territories.
Yeah.
Cool? So I allow my franchisees to advertise in vacant territories because I love marketing. The more gym stuff we can get out there, the better, in my opinion.
But you need to get your franchise
You need approval.
permission
Yep.
to do that.
That's correct, yep. That's a brilliant idea. I really like. What was your name again? Struan.
Yep.
Brilliant, mate. I really like that one. All right, cool. Number 5. Can you guys see what we're doing? We're creating demand for this business. You all have a bit of an idea of how you've got already 4 great ideas on how you can create demand in this business to get more work coming through all the time. If you create that demand and you get all this work coming through, you'll very soon find out that you run out of time to be able to do all those jobs. What do you do once you run out of time to do all those jobs? Pay your brother, yes. Yeah. That's a good one, I like that. You put your price up. You put your price up, all right? If you create that much demand that you can no longer fit time in to do those jobs, you're going to want to cherry pick the best jobs out of the lot. So obviously you're going to put your price up and only take the jobs that are paying you the best. Cool? So he was just doing a 40-hour week. I was a bit cheap, I didn't want to pay overtime. 40-hour week, sorry. Huh? And he makes up the money for himself and you, like 40 hours a week? Absolutely, yeah, he was making me $3,500 a week. I was paying him, I don't know, $1,200, $1,300 a week. That was bloody fantastic for me. Yeah.
How many for these all the magnetic you drop in different boxes?
Say it again.
How many customers do you receive when you drop all these?
With the magnets?
Yeah.
So what I did was I would do 3,000 magnet drops a year. And from that, I usually found on average, now obviously it's not exact, but on average, I would find that I was earning about an extra $1,000 a week for the next 10 weeks from those magnet letterbox drops. So that's why I do it still year after year. I won't ever stop doing it. As soon as you do it and you finish those 3,000, it's just money coming in. And the magnets are expensive, but they're not that bloody expensive. So, cool. All right. Follow up. Now, what are some things that we might follow up on? Quotes. That's a really good one. Yep, brilliant. So we follow up on quotes. Another thing we might follow up on is, let's say we've done a job for someone and it was 3 months ago. They may need the same job done again. So you follow up with them and see if they need that work done again. Maybe it was a gutter cleaning job and they get it done every 6 months. Maybe it was a hedge trimming job and they need it done every 6 weeks. We don't know, but that's what you want to follow up on. So that's a really good way to get some extra work straight away. The other reason is with quotes, in general, a lot of customers won't reply to your quote. You'll email through a quote, you'll put all this time and effort into doing this beautiful quote, perfectly dot pointed. You've sat there, you've tried to figure out exactly what the price should be, and then they don't respond. And a week goes by and you hear nothing. And then you go, what do you usually think? If a customer doesn't respond, what do you think? They've gone with someone else. They don't want my quote. But a lot of the time what it is it isn't that. Maybe 50% of the time it is. The other 50%, they've forgotten. They've literally forgotten about it. It's just, see you later. I'm like that. I'm exactly like that. So if I follow up with them and I follow up 3 days later, then they go, oh, that's right. I forgot to speak with my husband about that. Yeah, absolutely. Go and get the job done, please. So follow up with the quote. Because I used to always assume that they just said no, which just wasn't the case. Now this one I won't go too deep on because I know that Sam already did. He went pretty deep into networking, didn't he? Yep, cool. All right. We don't need to go overboard. I will just say I usually recommend that you speak with 10 local franchisees in your division and then 10 local franchisees outside of your division. So I'll chuck that in because I know he already would have covered it. I mean, I could stay on this forever. So, but I'll put that in there. So 10 and 10. Now, before, what was your name again? You're from car detailing? So you had said 10% off, was that right? You'd said 10% off your next service. That might be something you email to your clients as a special offer. So I think that's a really good one because that's how you're going to get repeat customers or even regular customers.
I assume that I've already cleaned all their add-ons. I thought I already cleaned all their house, so I'm trying to get extra.
Yeah, no, but you're ahead of it. So I think that's a brilliant one there. And it's a really good marketing point. But what's something else that you might do that you might email your clients for? So what's another special offer or something that you could offer these clients when you're emailing them?
New services.
New services, yep, brilliant. Who else has got something? Maybe when you're emailing your clients, you can let them know that you're looking for work. You can just very simply, I need work, I'm looking for it. Does anyone have any work? A referral. If you refer a customer, maybe your next, I don't know, whatever it is, what service you're doing is free. Does that sound all right? Yep, cool. Say it again.
50%
50%
off.
off. Nothing's free. I like it, Lockie. I like it. All right. You're going to do well. You're going to do very well. Drive a hard bargain. All right. Real estates. I had spoken about that before. What did I tell you guys about real estates? What did I do? Huh? I went and met them face to face. And they pitied me a little bit. And the reason they pitied me was because I had this story, which was basically, poor me, help me out. And it worked bloody well. I'm new to business. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. I'm lonely. No. But I created this relationship. I created a story for this person, this real estate agent, property manager. And so that's what you guys need to do. You need to build this relationship with these people that you meet, tell them your story, and then what happens is people in general want to help other people out if they have an opportunity to. These people, because they knew my story, they wanted to help me out, and that made them part of my story. They were no longer just Julie, the real estate agent. They were Julie, the real estate agent that's helped build Dan's business. And so what's something similar to real estate agents? What's another relationship that you could build similar to real estate agents? Sorry? Strata groups, yep, brilliant. What's another one? Body corporates, yep. What's another one? Property managers, brilliant, yes, because the property managers aren't just in the real estate agents, yep. Another one? Retirement, yep, absolutely, that's a good one. Anything else? Body corporates, I think we had that one. What's another one? Airbnbs, brilliant, yep. So you guys get the idea. Agencies. What agencies can you guys think of that you might want to become a preferred provider with? DVA, is that what I heard? Yep, brilliant. What else have we got? Travel agents? Go on. I mean, you could probably mow an airport. Is that what you're saying, or? No worries. Housing, huh? Yep, housing corporate. Next one. RSPCA, that's a good one. Vets, good. What else have we got? Yes, brilliant. Yes, they're a bit harder to quote those ones though, so be careful of them. Sports facilities, great. What else have we got?
Animal quarantine at the airport.
What, you're saying the airport as well, are you?
Animal quarantine is actually...
Oh, animal quarantine. Okay, yep, cool, no worries. I tell you what, there's just going to be Jim's dog wash and Jim's mowing everywhere at the airports from now on. All right, maybe we could do council tenders, maybe. Who else has got something? Hospitals, yep. We've got aged care. So to be able to get work from aged care, you just go through My Aged Care, and then you'll be able to see all the providers and get registered as a provider with them. So you've got work cover. There's a whole bunch of different work cover policies out there. One of them, pretty popular one, is Allianz. You've got Gallagher Bassett. There's a whole bunch of little ones as well, like Woolworths Group Limited. They have their own work cover policy, so you become registered as a provider with them. Australia Post has one. Suncorp. There's quite a few. So work covers, it's not like you get signed up with one work cover and then you signed up. You need to go through each individual one. It's a bit of a nightmare. I got my wife to do it for me. All right, next one is DHA, Department of Housing Australia. That's another one.
Sorry, how do you become a provider? Is it just as simple as registering your business, or do you have to be getting in contact?
So some of them you do it online. Some of them you do an online application. And then some of them, like a lot of the aged care providers, you'll just call them up, let them know your details, let them know your ABN, and they'll say, yep, cool, you're good. Some of them you even have to pay money to do it.
You do?
Yeah, there's some of them, not very many, I think it's like 1% of them, but there are some that say, hey, pay us $300 to come and mow our clients' lawns. I don't really like those ones. I'd rather go with the free ones. Everyone likes something for free, isn't that what you said before? Cool, all right, so we've got the agencies. Number 10, and this is probably the most common local area marketing you could possibly ever do, and you'll probably do it like 10 times a day. Social media, that's a good one. Joel would have just taught you all about that, and I think it was great what he said. That's not this, but driving a vehicle, is it? Yeah, that instantly happens. That's it. Word of mouth. There it is. Who said that? Yep. What was your name? Peter. Great. Word of mouth, and that'll happen over and over and over again. And you're going to tell anyone that you meet that you're looking for work. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Just I'm looking for work. A lot of people are too proud. They'll be speaking to a customer, and they'll be too proud to say, "Oh yeah, I need some more work." Like I know people that literally go out of their way to try and say no to work because they're so proud of it. Drives me insane. I just don't understand it. But word of mouth. So you'll go and do someone's property, and you'll tell them, or you'll meet a client, and you'll tell them that you're looking for work, and do they know anyone? It's as simple as that. Or do they need extra work done? So that's a really, really simple one. But all those ones that you said before, driving, there was another one, but those are all local area marketing tips as well, and they shouldn't be, I don't know, they're not as less as any of these. These are just my top 10 tips that I like doing. But I mean, the table got a little bit away from me, but you guys can probably see that this table now, wait, I reckon Andre the Giant could stand on this table. I watched a lot of WWE. All right, so very strong table. If we remove one of those, let's even remove the strongest one, the Jim's leads, the one that everyone knows, the new leads, because they always forget about the previous, the current, and even the unserviced. That's still a very, very strong table. So that's the demand I want you guys to see. And that table is your business. It ain't going nowhere. So does that make sense? We all know how to create demand? Awesome. All right. Now I think that we've got a presentation, Kim. Is that right?
Yes.
Brilliant. No worries. Thank you very much, guys. Now you guys will. Thanks. Too much. You make me blush more than him. I'll be down at lunch. Come and have a chat with me. Keep in mind, fill in those presenter surveys or whatever they're called as well for all your presenters. Yep. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.